Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. I'm going to be covering total budget tips for backpacking and just overall tips for backpacking from somebody who does almost full-time traveling. Over half the year I'm on the road traveling around different countries. I've been over 40 countries in the last 5 or 6 years, and I got a pretty good idea of how to save some money. So these tips that I'm going to cover are going to save you loads of money. They're going to save you time. They're going to keep you healthy, and they're just overall going to make the travel experience so much better. So pay attention. So the first thing I'm gonna cover is with your packing. Don't overpack. So many people think they need so many extra things in their bag, and it's really easy to find things later on the road, and the price you're gonna pay for it's gonna be the same as back home. So don't really need to bring the big shampoo or the big hair gel or the big deodorant or something like that. Maybe there's things you think, oh, I won't be able to find this, but you can find pretty much everything, guys. So, don't have to overpack some of the toiletries, some of the things. It's really easy to find again, and just bringing less clothes because more than likely you're going to be buying some clothes just because you're going to find a good deal. You're going to find something interesting. So a lot of people they overpack maybe the too many underwear, too many t-shirts, too many socks. You only need a couple pairs of socks for the most part. You can always wash one, wear one. Few shirts, sometimes I travel with only 3 shirts. That's good for me as a guy. I think 5 shirts should be good for everyone. Just 1 or 2 long sleeves and a bunch of short sleeves. Shouldn't need much more than that. And if you do need more later, you can buy another one, and it's not going to be that expensive. You're still just going to be a few bucks for a shirt almost anywhere in the world. So don't overpack. Travel light. It's gonna give you more relief on your back. It's gonna keep you healthier. It's gonna make you more confident and be able to get up and go all the time. But also, it's gonna save you a lot of money at the airport. And I did make another video about this, about baggage fees and how to get through clearance and stuff like that with carry-on allowance and things like that. If you can just get the carry-on allowance, you're doing great. Like if you can get the carry-on at the 7 kilograms or 15 pounds, whatever it is, depending on where you're going, and just have that small personal item with you. If you can just get that, your whole travel experience is going to be way better, guys. If you're paying for a checked bag, already I know your experience backpacking is going to suck because you brought too much stuff. So if you can always have less, you're always going to save more money and you're going to be much more comfortable. So that's my first tip for everybody. Second tip, don't buy too much food all the time. Don't eat out so much. Don't buy so much beverages. I think this is kind of obvious. I mean, your biggest expenses in life are, living expenses like accommodation, travel, and food. So if you can control your food as much as you can, try to eat out just, once a day, twice a day. Try to, at least have some snack food, something like that for one of your meals. It's going to save you a lot of money, and not buying so much beverages because the beverages nowadays really suck. Like they're not even, there's hardly anything healthy. Everything's got loads of sugar in it all the time or some other crap chemicals or something like that. It's not good for you. It's not gonna let you travel longer because you're gonna be more unhealthy from drinking these things. So just stick with water. Always have water with you. Have a big water, maybe 1 liter, depending on how warm the country is that you're traveling, 1.5 liters, 2 liters, maybe even have a camelback. Just really depends on where you're at, but just drink water. You're gonna save tons of money, and just trying to like have your own food as well, which brings me to the next point of having really substantial groceries. So I really like to have like certain things in my pack all the time as like emergency food. They can supplement my meals like regularly. So having maybe some nuts, dried fruit, bread, things like that are going to give you energy. You're always going to be able to have them with you. It can be your meal replacement. Just back in the day, people used to always just have like fruit and nuts, and that was like enough to get them through like a voyage across the desert. So, if they could do it back then and then you got your water, you're pretty much set. So try to have like substantial groceries with you. Buy smart groceries that are going to give you fuel, and they're not going to just be like some junky snack food made with a bunch of trans fats or garbage like that. So, wholesome foods, nuts, fruits, breads, maybe some crackers, Simple things like that, they're really going to take you farther and they're going to save you loads of money because maybe in the middle of the day, instead of buying a meal, you can just eat that. So that takes me into the next point of just overall health, I would say. By choosing to eat healthier, it's going to make your backpacking experience so much easier because you're in another country. It's a lot easier to get sick. You know, the water is different, the food's different. Maybe the food's spicy or has different spices in it. Maybe it's fattier, greasier. It's easy to get sick, guys. So, as much as you can, choose vegetables instead of meat. I don't say don't eat meat, but if you got a whole table full of food, try to eat as many vegetables as you can. Try to finish the vegetables on the table and eat some meat as well. But the vitamins are going to do so much better for your body in the long run that it's really going to be more rewarding than the meat that you're consuming. So eat more vegetables, eat more fruits. If you can find good juices, which are hard to find, a lot of people are putting a lot of sugar in the juices in other countries, especially Southeast Asia, South America. They have a lot of sweet drinks. But if you can find wholesome drinks that provide you with veggies and fruits inside, some type of supplements and vitamins that you really need, it's going to help you a lot. Yeah, just try to avoid the ones made with syrups because some people put juice or call it juice, but it's just some crappy syrup that you don't want to put in your body. It's going to make you sick in the long run. It's not going to keep you healthy. So, overall health with juices, with vegetables, with fruits, with the water you already got, try to drink only the water as much as you can. It's going to save you money and it's going to save your body. Having a sun hat, having sunglasses, that's going to protect your skin from, it's going to protect your eyes, it's going to protect skin cancer and whatever, over heat exhaustion, all that, just by covering up, keeping the sunglasses on. I did travel a lot and I started getting small halo flashes in one of my eyes because I didn't have proper sunglasses. So I do tell people definitely enforce yourself with some good sunglasses that's going to save you in the long run in your old age. So have a hat, sunglasses, supplements for some people, depending on how your diet is. Having some multivitamins or having some probiotics is a lifesaver. Maybe some of those vitamin C immunity boosters that have like the zinc and vitamin C, vitamin whatever D, all the mixed vitamins that you can have, the powder or the tablet. You know, when your body's feeling a little down, taking one of those can really jump your immunity up and just allow you to survive without getting sick one more day. So things like that are really important. I mean, your health is really number one because if you get sick in another country, you don't know how the clinics are going to be there, and you might have to go back home sooner than you think. So be as cautious as you can with the food choices you make, but also eat as healthy as you can, get as many vitamins as you can, and drink plenty of water. So this should be obvious, but these are my tips, guys. Just do it. Okay, next one. Write your expenses down as much as you can. Make a good budget. So maybe this is obvious for some people. They think they know what they're spending, but when you put it down on paper, it's gonna just lay out the whole rest of your trip because maybe when you left the house, you weren't really sure how much you would be spending every week or every month, and you're thinking, with my amount of money, I can travel 2 months. But if you're trying to do long-term backpacking, you know, trying to get the most for your money is really beneficial. So by putting everything down, you know, putting down food expenses, grocery stores, you know, transportation, cell phone costs, whatever it is that you're paying for, write it down on paper. Then you can look at every week block, see how much you're spending, see if you can spend a little more, see if you need to save money on certain things, maybe see where the expenses are higher or lower. And just by putting that down, it's not gonna be hard to do, guys. Just, you know, at the end of the day, just try to think back how much you spent for this, how much you spent for this. Keep a small notepad. I always keep a small notepad ready to go, and I can write down, you know, just little notes about how much I spent. That's going to help you because you can lay out the whole rest of your trip. You can see in one week, oh wow, I spent, you know, $50 less than I thought I was going to spend in this week. So overall, maybe you're able to travel 1 month, 2 months, 3 months longer than you initially expected. So by putting that down on paper, it really allows you to lay out the rest of your trip and see how far you are able to travel. Another thing that's going to save you lots of money is with the transportation, and this is something that I personally stand behind. Some people are very cautious of because you only get negative information, and that is hitchhiking. So I have hitchhiked with thousands of people. I would say every year. Uh, I mean, in one year, I hitchhike 1,000 times probably, and I haven't had any, scary experiences. I've never had anyone pull a knife, rob me, pull a gun on me. I've never felt threatened. There has been like the occasional like lady boy or tranny try to feel you up a little bit, but you can usually get out of that situation without, too much drama. So besides that, the experiences you get with hitchhiking are so rewarding that I would definitely recommend it to everyone. It's going to save you loads of money, even if, it can just get you a small distance from one side of the city to the next or to the next town. It's really beneficial, and I encourage everyone to try it at least once. And if you don't feel real comfortable doing it by yourself, try to get somebody to do it with, or maybe you can choose the person yourself. Maybe that would help. Maybe you can be like in a shopping mall, in a gas station, something like that. And just people that are about to drive out of the parking lot, maybe just try to start a conversation and tell them where you're trying to go, and see if they can just give you a lift for a few kilometers or a few miles. And most likely people are willing to help you out. So that's like another form of hitchhiking, is like choosing the person you want to hitchhike with and then just bringing it up. Maybe it's a little uncomfortable at first, but you're in another country. These people are never going to see you again. You're just trying to get a little bit of a ride, and people most likely will help you out. And you can try just thumbing it down the road and see who you're going to get, or you can try talking to people. So depending on culture of different countries, it can work differently. So just see what luck you have with that. I definitely encourage people to try it at least one time. It's really nice. Another thing that's going to save you loads of money is walk more. And this comes down to the whole thing of packing light. If you packed light, you're not going to have much issue taking an extra 30-minute walk to the other side of the town, because you only got 15 pounds on your back. You're not going to be too much of a burden. If you packed a lot of weight, you're going to more likely be paying for taxis. You're going to be more fatigued more often, and you're just going to be overall lazy, and you're going to be spending more money, initially with the baggage fees, but later in the trip, you're going to be spending more money because you can't walk with your backpack because it's too damn heavy, and you want to pay for taxi all the time or pay bus all the time. So come on, guys, just pack lighter. It's going to be so much beneficial, and walk as much as you can. By having a light pack, you're going to be able to walk. You're going to save money by walking. It's going to keep you healthier. And, you're going to be able to meet people. You're going to meet locals. And sometimes the locals can offer you rides. So one thing leads to the next. By walking more, you meet more people. And that kind of goes into the next subject, which is meeting locals for your accommodation. So there's many ways to do this. You can do this before you arrive in a country, before you arrive in a place. Social media, Facebook groups, just Instagram, whatever. Like there's so many apps, like you can, using some type of matching app even just to find people in your area to meet up with. Just meeting strangers on the road that are passing by, that want to have a conversation in coffee shops, whatever. Could be anywhere that you're meeting people, but by meeting locals, it's going to overall just make your travel a lot cheaper, because they're going to offer you a drink, they're going to offer you food, sometimes they offer you accommodation, and they offer you a ride. If you're walking on the road, people will offer to give you a ride. And the ride, if you start making a relationship, eventually that'll lead to giving you a place to stay that night, and maybe giving you a home cooked meal at their home. So by meeting more people, it really gives you more advantages throughout your travel. And that's just life in general. Like the more connections you have, the bigger your network, the farther you're going to get in life. And that goes with traveling as well. If you're always in a taxi or in a bus, you're not going to have so much conversation with people. And by putting yourself outside your comfort zone a little bit, and you're meeting people more often, it's just gonna really escalate to more meeting people, more opportunities for you, more saving money for you in the future as well. And that's just a great thing. So another thing, next point that I got is about camping. So I always have camping gear with me. That could be as minimal as just having a hammock. It could be a full tent system with a sleeping bag. It could just be a blanket and a mat, depending on the place. If there's mosquitoes, could just be mosquito net and a mat, whatever works for you. So by having that, you always got the house, you always got the bed. You don't have to worry about that expense. You don't have to worry about where you're going to be at the end of the day as well, which I really love. I can be in the middle of nowhere. I already got my substantial nuts and fruit and water in my bag. I can camp, use my light pack to go up the top of a hill, camp there one night. Oh, it's going to be really nice. So by having that plan B, which is camping equipment, it's just going to make a lot less stress in your travel, because you're not concerned about where you're going to sleep that night. Maybe you've already tried talking to people trying to find a place to stay and it's just not working out. But things really do work out. And by having that plan B, though, it's just the extra security of, if there's no place for you to go or sleep, you got your bed with you. Just use that. So one of the last points is just kind of overall summarizes a lot of these points. It's just the power of asking. Throughout my travels, I've realized the power of asking is really, really amazing, and people underestimate, what kind of benefits and what kind of advantages come out of just asking and communication with people. Overall, in the whole world, people are just really good to each other. People want to help each other, especially if they see a traveler, they're interested to hear what you're doing. And just by asking them for maybe a ride, or asking them for, things like even a meal. Like, I've asked people if I can help them maybe with some yard work or cleaning around for exchange for a meal. Maybe that's embarrassing for you, but you're not going to see these people again probably. You're in another country. Just enjoy the time there. Save as much money as you can so you can travel longer. And the power of asking can really get you like a really nice place to stay. Sometimes you just tell people you're trying to find a place to camp. If you can ask if you can camp in their yard, but sometimes that'll lead to staying in their house actually, and maybe they'll give you a meal later, something like that. So that happens to me all the time. The power of asking, like in the petrol station, just asking for a ride, or even going into some shops and asking for like food they're gonna throw out works. Like in Europe, me and my brother had a lot of luck just going into bakeries and asking if they had some older bread they were going to throw out, and we got a lot of free bread all the time. That was pretty nice. So just ask. Yeah, it's embarrassing a little bit, but like I said, you're not going to see these people again, and if you are trying to travel long term, it's going to be so beneficial to you in the long run. It's going to save you loads of money. Just ask anything you want, and just come up with crazy things you want to ask. Even going into restaurants and asking if you can have some free food and maybe you can sweep up. They might do it. You never know. Just ask. So overall, have fun in your travels, but don't take too much risk. So I would say, there has to be some type of balance, because when you're in another country, you don't want to get sick. You don't want to get broken bones. So you don't want to be too dangerous, too daring. So if hitchhiking makes you uncomfortable, then probably don't do it, because maybe the risk is not so good for you. Or maybe, camping out in the middle of the jungle might be too risky, because you're going to get dengue or malaria, something like that. If that seems too risky for you, just don't do it. So, try to think of things, because maybe you don't have travel insurance. You're far away from your home. So enjoy yourself as much as you can, but don't over risk too much. Don't be cliff jumping too much, or skateboarding, BMXing, stuff like that. Be really careful with those like extreme activities, because if you get hurt in another country, it's gonna really mess things up. So I think that's pretty much my video, guys. I mean, I have loads more stuff to talk about. I'm gonna make tons more videos about travel tips, backpacking tips, budget trips, finance trips, packing tips, choosing a backpack, choosing, I don't know, maybe airfare on flights. Like, I've got loads of experience in loads of different countries and got friends all over the world from my experiences. And I hope that what I covered today is really going to help you guys out. If you got anything to make comments about, any other tips I left out, any questions you have for me, I do donation-based travel consulting. I can help you book tickets. I can help you find friends. I can help you find volunteer opportunities, places to stay, tour guides, all that, at no cost to you. So I'm going to help you guys out, get out in the world, see more of what there is in the world, and I just really enforce people to travel as much as they can while they still can. So, you're only young one time. Get out there and enjoy it, guys, and, you know, keep traveling. And hopefully, you can get out backpacking. And hopefully, these tips are going to save you loads of money. And like I said, reach out anytime. I'll help you as much as I can. And thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. So, have a great day and keep traveling.